Alright, so let me tell you something pretty crazy. When I first learned about this, it blew my mind. Did you know that all of recorded history fits into just 50 generations? Everything you've ever heard about humanity's achievements, from the Great Pyramids of Giza to the great Bitcoin network in cyberspace, happened in just 50 lifetimes. Yeah. So buckle up, friends, because when you hear this, you are going to look at all of human history differently. Let's break it down. Imagine one person from each generation lives 100 years. That's our unit for this thought experiment. One generation, one human lifetime, equals 100 years. So if you go back just one generation, it's 1924 and World War II hasn't even started yet. Go back 7 generations and you're in 1324. You're in the middle of the Black Plague, where a third of Europe's population was wiped out by the bubonic plague. Now, if you had been born 10 generations ago, you'd be alive in 1024, and you might have been a Viking, or a knight, or more likely a peasant. And if you go back 20 generations, you're in year 0. That's Jesus time. And here's where it gets wild. If you can remember the names of 50 people, each living 100 years back to back, that will take you back to the beginning of recorded history, back to when the pyramids were being built. But here's the kicker. In just 50 generations, you cover all of recorded history. But if you want to go back all the way to the beginning of humans, instead of going back 50, you have to go back 30,000. Sadly, most of our history as a species is lost to time. About 98.5% is gone forever. About 5,000 years ago, we started to write stuff down. 2,000 years ago, we got serious about keeping track of time with calendars, marking the seasons, and studying the stars in the night sky. And just 15 years ago, something revolutionary happened. We discovered absolute mathematical scarcity in the digital world, and from that discovery we built the Bitcoin network. So in just 50 generations we have gone from the pyramids to Bitcoin. 10 generations ago, most people lived in simple agricultural societies, bound by the land and limited by local economies. Today we have a global, decentralized economic operating system in cyberspace, a system so powerful that it operates outside of government control. How did we make this leap? It wasn't just the cumulative effect of technological advancements. It was breakthrough upon breakthrough in how we think. Most of all, the leap from the pyramids to Bitcoin, to where we are today, is the result of a cognitive revolution. And this brings me very happily to one of the technologies that I'm most excited about. An ancient technology that I believe doesn't just have the potential to save humanity from suffering, but could also put us on the right track to the stars. Psychedelics have been used by human beings for longer than we have been Homo sapiens. For example, we're fairly certain that Homo erectus used them. This means that human beings may have used psychedelics for over 1 million years. Right now, in 2024, we live in a time that future generations may refer to as the Great Prohibition era, a time when governments believe that they have the right to govern your body and consciousness. So in what way are psychedelics beneficial for the human species and civilization as a whole? Well, not only have they helped us push the boundaries of human thought, they have helped us question everything. They help us break free from societal structures and explore wildly new ideas. They've been a non-trivial engine in our cognitive and cultural evolutions. Psychedelics have shaped entire civilizations and been central to human progress. In culture, they've been at the heart of shamanic societies and ancient Greece, shaping religion, philosophy, democracy, and even how we understand the world. In the 1960s, in the most recent psychedelic renaissance, besides the one that's ongoing right now, they fueled the counterculture movement, transforming not just music like the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix, but society itself. In science, they have led to breakthroughs like the discovery of the DNA molecule or the development of PCR technology, and they have revolutionized psychiatry, where substances like psilocybin can cure otherwise treatment-resistant depression and addiction with far better outcomes compared to anything we've ever tried before. In technology, and this is interesting, they have inspired some of the greatest visionaries like Steve Jobs, contributing to the development of the modern computer, the internet, VR and AR, and a bunch of other cool and significant technological breakthroughs. Now, I've been beating the drum on this idea for a while now, and the idea is this, that Bitcoin is an economic psychedelic, and I wouldn't be surprised if Satoshi Nakamoto himself was one of the greatest psychonauts to ever live. Bitcoin is an economic psychedelic in 3 key ways. First, Bitcoin creates hyperconnectivity in the economy, much like psychedelics create hyperconnectivity in the brain. And hyperconnectivity is key for creativity and innovation. Second, psychedelic means mind manifesting. It means that they show you what's in your mind, what kind of mental algorithms you have, and they expose the flaws you have within. They bring all of your garbage to the surface so that you can deal with it. They show you what's true about yourself. They also show everything that's beautiful, and that can be equally overwhelming. Similarly, Bitcoin challenges norms and mainstream narratives by exposing their flaws. For example, Bitcoin challenges the idea that we need centralized authorities like banks or governments to issue money, control transactions, or mandate inflation. Bitcoin shows us, like an economic psychedelic, how our fiat currencies have been corrupted to become a tool for financial surveillance and a tool for theft through inflation. Bitcoin, simply by being better money, empowers us to resist surveillance and the systemic theft of our money. When you dive into the Bitcoin rabbit hole, you cannot unsee that society thrives when the individual, not institutions, controls the money. The third way in which Bitcoin is a psychedelic is that, like chemical psychedelics, Bitcoin is a wonderful tool for spiritual growth. How so? Well, in a sentence, it's a freedom technology that liberates you from the shackles of financial surveillance, the stress of inflation, and the high time preference and consumerism-inducing effects of having money whose purchasing power erodes. It fosters sovereignty, mindfulness, detachment from materialism. It gives you freedom from authority, reinforces integrity, creates universal connectivity, and teaches patience and discipline. In just 50 generations, we've evolved from being unable to write or use simple tools like gears to landing people on the moon, exploring and colonizing cyberspace, and discovering Bitcoin, and building an entire infrastructure around this new global economic operating system. It's a staggering leap in technology over a very short period of time. But the real progress of civilization isn't just about physical inventions. It's about cognitive revolutions. Psychedelics and Bitcoin are two paradigm-altering psychotechnologies that help us break away from old systems of control and move into new frontiers of freedom. It makes you wonder, what's going to happen in the next 50 generations? Yet, for 49 and a half of these 50 generations, psychedelics were used widely. The sudden prohibition imposed since the 1970s has been a strange interruption in human history. I believe these laws will eventually dissolve with time. But if they don't, it raises a critical question. How will this ongoing prohibition shape our technological and cultural evolution going forward? So there you have it. In just 50 generations, we've gone from pyramids to Bitcoin, from being tied to the land as farmers to financial freedom. And here's the kicker. Bitcoin and psychedelics aren't just changing technology, they're changing our minds, how we think about money, about freedom, even reality itself. So, what's next for us? Well, that's up to you to decide. Now, the question is, what do you think? Are Bitcoin and psychedelics some of the most potent freedom technologies ever conceived? Let me know in the comments below. And please subscribe to the channel. First of all, it would make me very happy. But more importantly, we're just getting started on this journey of mental revolutions and paradigm shifts. So I'll see you in the next one. Be good to one another. Peace out.
Get your copy of Yoni's book, Abundance Through Scarcity, in the description below.